Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another edition of the Calsoft Podcast, your premier source for discussions on all things tech. I'm your host, Shantanu Pant, and with me today is Prabhuti Prakash. Hi, Prabhuti.
Hello, Shantanu.
Welcome to the show. So, before we start, a quick introduction. Prabhuti is a solutions architect here at Calsoft, and he has a ton of experience with today's topic, a fascinating new technology known as robotic process automation or RPA. So, without further ado, let's jump right into today's topic. Prabhuti, could you give us a quick introduction to RPA?
Yeah, thanks, Shantanu, for the introduction. Now, I'm sure most product developers have leveraged the benefit of automation in one way or another. Invoices being processed instantly, retail inventories being updated in real time, quick and effective customer support services enabled with responsive bots. All these are successful RPA applications. So when we bring automation into any process, we get faster and more accurate results. Repetitive tasks get executed instantly without any risk of manual errors. And most importantly, our investments and effort saved by automating these tasks can be repurposed towards more business critical actions.
I see. So, what topics will you be covering in this discussion?
Well, today I'd like to explore RPA and how it works, how it benefits product developers, how to deal with RPA pain areas, and how traditional processes are being actively replaced by new automated solutions. I'll also bring forth and discuss some key product development tasks best suited for adopting RPA capabilities.
Fantastic. So, let's start with the first one. How exactly, what is RPA and how exactly does it work?
Well, on technical grounds, Robotic Process Automation, acronym as RPA, is a software technology designed to help speed up and improve repetitive functions by enabling them to execute multiple types of tasks in a clearly defined order. RPA technology creates and deploys a software robot with the ability to launch and operate other software applications, APIs, and processes. For software product developers, it helps build, deploy, and manage software easily with robots that emulate and execute human actions through digital interfaces. Now, these RPA techniques can be categorized broadly into two main areas, attended automation and unattended automation. Attended automation, these are like best suited for workloads or processes that cannot be automated from start to finish. The reason for this could be many, like probably the rules are very complex or there's no specific pattern that can be followed, or perhaps the frequency of the execution is not that high. The point to be noted is that these robots have to be triggered manually. Hence, we have the word attended. Contrary to the attended automation, unattended automation is just the reverse of attended robots. Unattended robots do not require any human interventions to be triggered. These run in the background and are generally scheduled to get started to perform the specific task at specific day or time. These are good for tasks that follow the exact same steps each time they are to be performed.
I see. Sounds quite useful to be quite honest. So, now that I have a general idea of what RPA is, can you tell me more about the benefits of RPA? I mean, uh, I can sort of figure it out based on what you've said, but I'd still like a clearer explanation.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks for putting out to the question. So to get started, bots are the best bet for product companies to speed up their development life cycles and improve the performance of their apps and app services. Now, here are like few benefits which you can reap by adopting RPA. To start with, I'd like to lay emphasis on product boosted productivity. Like when robots are programmed to perform low skill repetitive tasks, employees automatically get time to spend on tasks that demand high skill. This split of low level and high level work between the robots and human employees results in getting more done in the same amount of time. The next benefit that we reap is increased efficiency. RPA helps to increase the processing time and reduces the errors that human can make. Reduced number of errors automatically results in increased efficiency. The next one is enhanced accuracy. Robots, once programmed to perform a particular task, shall always perform the same task with the same accuracy and speed. Unlike human beings, robots do not get tired. Human error or human judgment no longer contributes to being an important factor in the workflows. 100% accuracy is possible when you automate making use of RPA technology.
Hmm.
Increased security. With careful architected workflows, data breach through a robot is next to impossible. All RPA tools make use of best security practices when it comes to data security, be that data in motion or data at rest. Major cost savings and improved compliance, improved efficiency, enhanced accuracy, and increased security altogether result in cost savings and improved compliance. Additionally, RPA also helps us to identify compliance gaps and improvement areas. And last but not the least, happier teams. With RPA taking care of low skilled, mundane tasks, employees get time to spend learning new skills and upgrading themselves. This results in employees being able to deliver better services to the company, and what we get is an overall happier team.
I see. So yeah, I mean, RPA sounds like something that a lot of companies should be investing in. But that also sort of brings me to my next point. What are the pain areas around in most companies, and how does RPA exactly help in solving them?
Sure. So, there are many issues which RPA helps in resolving, but like to just for the sake of discussion to bring forth here, I have like put across 2 points. Now, as we discuss these benefits, it's important to know that why RPA became absolutely necessary for product innovators. Every year, traditional practices are being replaced by advanced techniques. This translates into better product performance and improves the overall business. RPA follows the same purpose by solving conventional challenges and replacing outdated manual redundant tasks with automation. The two pain areas about which I like to talk in this podcast is first, the modern operations depend on modern tools, which traditional automation or traditional processes cannot handle. Now, we all know that with time, the IT landscape has changed a lot, and now we have an endless choice of technology. This just adds to the overall complexity. A decision to move to the cloud or move to microservices architecture shall bring with it new requirements, not only from an IT operations viewpoint, but in terms of employees' skill shortage also. As new technology gains precedent, legacy technology will get obsolete and will no longer be supported. Making use of RPA to replace outdated manual redundant tasks is definitely a step in the right direction. The second point which I like to highlight is that businesses that do not make use of modern tech will not be able to keep up with today's fast-paced growth. To bring out this point, as an example, I can put across the way support system works. Earlier, support was associated with telephone support, but modern support system cannot rely only on the telephone support. We need to have support in all forms, through chats, raising requests via email, calling a toll-free number and making use of IVR, that's interactive voice response, or talking directly to a support agent also. And in many cases, you must have experienced also that we are able to get an immediate issue resolution also. In current times, if any business relies only on traditional agent-based telephone support, they will definitely not be able to grow beyond a particular size.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, okay, I get your point. But that does sort of lead me to another question. How can we best decide which processes are most suitable for automation? Because a company has like thousands and millions of processes. What are the deciding factors?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for bringing that question. That's one of the most important question which any company who wants to step into RPA should be, aware of. Now, while RPA solves these problems effectively, the main challenge is its application. Automation technology should not be and must not be implemented in decision making and executive tasks. Here, hence, as a solution architect, we at Calsoft help product companies identify the task best suited for automation. The RPA qualifying process is mainly set on 3 point criteria. The first one is the task should be facing high volume. Now, when we say high volume, we mean the frequency at which the task is executed should be high. The higher, the better it is. A task which get executed, for example, thrice in a day are more suited for automation than the task which get executed bi-weekly. The second criteria is the task should be getting executed with predefined specific rules. This is one of the most important rules. There should be no human intervention in the task execution process. The business rules that control the task execution should be well defined, and at no point during the task execution should human intervention be required to execute the task. Last one is the task should be repeatable. By this, we mean that the task should not be just a one time activity. We should be able to execute the task following the same steps any number of times. When it comes to automation, most of the tasks as such can be automated, but in order to get the most out of RPA, above are the three basic rules which serve as the guidelines, based on which a project can identify the business processes which are most suited for automation.
Yeah, those are quite well defined. So, what are the areas in which RPA can help with our business?
Yeah, so that lets me bring you to the next slide. Yeah, once a task gets qualified RPA, based on the three rules which we have identified earlier, then what is left is only about the application. However, RPA does have its own limitations, and not all tasks in all areas are well suited for automation. While the earlier discussed three rules helps identify which tasks are well suited for automation, definitely reap the most benefit. So the first one is incident management, where creation, resolution, updating, or closure of tickets is like a very common activity. Another common activity is SLA monitoring and escalation. We can have robots monitor the incident queue and take appropriate actions. This can range from informing the team members about the probable slippage of a resolution date through email or SMS or a chat. And it also can range about providing resolution to small tickets. The next area, which is like commonly used in case of RPA, is that of access and user administration. RP can be very helpful in many HR, finance, and IT related tasks like account creation, modification, and deactivation, account getting logged, password reset. It's quite easy to develop workflows using the RPA tool of your choice to perform above activities such as account creation of a new employee or deactivation of an employee who's no longer
Hmm.
part of your firm.
Hmm.
The third one, again quite popular among use of RPA, is data consolidation and report generation. We all know that most of the data management tasks are time consuming and also tedious for even employees. Mundane tasks like data consolidation from multiple location, data validation, data rectification, this all can be very easily performed by programming the robots for such small tasks. With these, report generation, be that for PMO, finance, or the HR, or data exchange and validation becomes quite an easy task. The last, again, will be monitoring system application alerts. Now, sometimes we have a lot of data, let's say a typical log file in any application. Keeping and monitoring such data together at the same time can be next to an impossible task. Robots in a well-configured system can be programmed to follow rules based on which preventive actions can be triggered. Example, we can have a rule which create about like creating an archive and freeing up the system memory when a threshold is about to be reached.
All right. So, RPA, honestly, it sounds really helpful. Like the amount of labor that it can save is just genuinely surprising. So now let me just sort of summarize this. As far as I can tell, application of RPA requires meticulous planning and execution, but in the long term, the benefits of RPA like distinctly outweigh the initial pain. And as far as I can tell, you can see cost saving and outcomes almost immediately. Am I right?
Yeah, Chandru, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
Well, that's a good note to wrap up on. Prabhuti, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your knowledge.
you're welcome. Thank you for your time.
This has been the Calsoft Podcast featuring Prabhuti Prakash. RPA as a technology seems to have great potential. I can't wait to see how it changes. Stay tuned for future podcasts where we explore the latest tech concepts and advancements. Thank you for listening.